Welcome back to the channel. So today we will be solving this SQL scenario based interview question. I have taken this problem from topics 30 days challenge, right? So let's see the input and output and see how we can solve this. So here in this input, we have been given this three tables, salary, income and deduction. And the expected output is these two tables, basically the bottom table and this right hand side table. So here in the first we need to generate this right hand side table and the name of this table is employee transaction and using this we can generate this expected output that is salary report, right? So let's first focus on the first part of this question that is generating this particular output. Okay. So if we see here like um, from this salary table for each and every employee we have total six record, right? So for Rohan we can see we have six record, for Alex we can see six record, and similarly for the third employee that is Maryam, we have six record, right? So how these six record is getting generated, let's focus one by one. So basically let's see how this Rohan's six record is getting generated. So if we see here transaction type, we can see that we have we can see that basic, here also we have basic, allowance, we have allowance over here, others, others over here, and similarly we have three other transaction type from this. So by looking this, we are sure that for each and every employee, we need to join with these two table and generate all possible combination, all possible combination, right? And we understood that we need to perform join operation, right? So for joining these two tables, let's say if we focus on these two, basically for joining these two tables, salary and income, we should have a common column, right? But if you see here, we don't have any common column. Here, basically, we have employee ID. Here we have ID. If you see, you might be thinking that these two are like foreign key, primary key, but that is not the case, right? Let's say if we join these two based on like if we write on condition as employee ID is equal to ID, then what will happen? Only three records will be generated, right? One will be joined with one, two will be joined with two, three will be joined with three. So only three record will generate. But what we want for each and every employee, let's say for Rohan, we want these three. For Alex, we want these three. For Maryam, we want these three. And this is what you can see. Like for Rohan, we have two here and one here, like the three. And then for Alex also we have these three record. For the third employee that is Maryam, here also we have three record. And similarly with the other table also. Like we don't have any common column on which we can join these tables and generate this output. So let me teach you the trick in such scenario, like how we can do. Like you can use the inbuilt function that is cross join, which generate each and every combination. But I will be showing you one trick. So let me write the SQL code for that. So we can write select star from salary. We can name this as T1, inner join income on. So this was the tricky part, right? What exactly we should write? So we can write anything. Like let's say if I write 1 equal to 1. So this condition in each and every iteration will be true, right? So it will generate each and every combination, right? Each and every combination. And this is what we need, right? So let me explain you how this will work. Okay. So how this will work is, let's say how the iteration will happen. This record from the M salary will be selected, and then it will come here on the second table, and it will check if one is equal to one. Yes, this will get generated. Like the first record will get generated. Then again, it will check if one is equal to one with the same Rohan, right? Like it will keep on checking, right, until unless it finds the correct match. But it is finding the correct match in each and every record, right? So like for the Rohan same, it will again generate this allowance. For the Rohan same, it will again generate the others, because in each and every condition this is getting matched, right? It will keep on like generating the records like when it finds the match. And here, since these like the left hand side is equal to right hand side, we can write any number, right? So it will keep on generating these records, and that's how we will have the all these records. So let's see the count for like how we are getting this 18 number. So basically for Rohan, it will generate three record from here, three record from here. So 6. Similarly for Alex 6. Similarly for Maryam 6. So total we will have 18 record, and this is how we have here the 18 records, right? So once we generate this, then generating this is easy, right? Let me explain you how. So basically, like let me show you the trick. So here, if you see, like from the like now for this particular table, the input is this table, right? The employee transaction table. So if you see here, we are like focusing at the employee name level, right? Employee name level, we have three record. So and here also we have three record, right? Like that, right? So what we can do, we can group the data on employee name, right? We can group the data on employee name, and we can find these output. So let me explain you. So basic, this we can get directly get from here. Allowance we can get from here. Similarly, others we can get from here, right? And gross is nothing but this is nothing but the basic plus allowance plus other, right? Let me show you how. So if you see here, 6,000 plus 6,000 plus 240 plus 360. This is nothing but, if we do the summation, this would be this much, right? 6600. Similarly, so we can find the gross also. Insurance, health, and house. This we can see that these are the directly we can compute, right? So these are the direct column. And total deduction. Total deduction is nothing but summation of insurance, health, and house. So 300 is like let's consider for this one. 250 for the insurance, 300 for the health, and 200 for the um house. So the total is 750, right? Total is 750. So this is the deduction, total deduction. So what is the net pay? Net pay is nothing but, okay, let me write over here. Net pay, this is nothing but gross minus total deduction, right? So gross, let's consider for this one, uh, the first record, Alex. So here the gross is 6600 minus total deduction is 900. So if we subtract these two numbers, we will get this much, right? So I think this is how we can like solve this problem. First generating the direct compute column, and then we can find easily the gross, total deduction, and net pay. These three are like basically the calculation, and other three we can directly get by grouping the data, right? And using the case when with within the aggregate function. So I think in this problem you will learn a lot of things. So let's jump to our DEweaver console and solve this. Let's try to find out the first table first, and then we will find the second table. Let's start. So basically, these are the three tables, right? So we'll start with this. Select star from salary. We can name this as T1. Inner join. First, we will have it with income. So we can write T2 on T1 dot. So here on clause, here we don't have anything, right? So let's write 1 into 1. Why? Because we need to generate each and every combination. So if you see here, like the 3 record from the salary, 3 record from the income. So total we should have 9 record. And this is what you can see over here also. We have 9 records, right? First 3 for the basic, next 3 for the allowance, and the next 3 for the others, right? And this is what we had over here also. Basic, allowance, and other, right? And like it is not necessary that you have to write 1 equal to 1. Let's say if you write 100 equal to 100, let's see if we get the correct same output. Yes, we have the same output, right? Because this condition is always true. So yes, I think this is done. For simplicity, let me write 1 equal to 1 only. And what all things we need? So if we see here, output, we need employee ID, employee name, and transaction type. So let me do that. So we can write T1 dot employee name ID, T1 dot employee name, T2 dot income. So this income is nothing but transaction type, right? So income as transaction type, comma. And the next is amount column, right? So let's see how this amount column is getting generated. So let's see how we are getting here the 200 for the allowance, right? So 200 for the allowance. So this is nothing but, where is allowance? Allowance is 4%. So like 5,000 is the base salary and the percent is the allowance percent is 400, 4%. 4 into 100. This is how we calculate the percentage. So this is nothing but what? 200. So that's how we are getting 200. Let's see for the any other thing. Let's say for this employee, the others is 420. Let's see how we are getting. For Maryam, the base salary is 7,000, 7,000 into what is the percentage for the other? 6%. So 6 divided by 100. So if we do this, so it is nothing but 420. That's how we are getting 420 over here. So let me write this calculation for the amount. So this would be nothing but as amount. So here we can write T1 dot T1 dot base salary into T2 dot percentage, right? Divide by 100. And since we can get like we are dividing integer by integer, let's make this as zero point 0, right? So that we don't get uh, wrong answers. So yes, I think we have the correct output. Let's cross check for any one of the values. Let's say for the allowance for Rohan is 200 and here we have 200. That's correct, right? So we generated with income table. We need to do the same thing for the we need to do the same thing for deduction table also, right? And here let me show you the like what are the columns which are there for deduction table. So here we have insurance, health, and house. So here instead of income we need to write deduction, right? And rest other will be same only. So let me run this, and here we generated all the records. Let's cross verify. For Alex, health is 360, and here for Alex, health is 360, right? We are getting the correct output now. So now we need to like just like 9 records from this table, 9 records from the previous table, and we can just do the union. Why union? Because the columns are same, we just need to get the aggregated or like all the data. So we can write with ct as, and we can put everything over here, and we can write instead of ct, let's make this the name of this table is employee transaction, right? So we can write EMP transaction, and we can write select star from employee transaction, and let me run this. Awesome, right? We got our 18 records output. Okay, so we are done with the first part of the question. Now, the second part, as we discussed, we need to do these things at the employee name level. So we can simply write the group by on the employee name and like pivot. Basically, this is nothing but what? Pivoting of a table. You can use the cross tab also, but here I will be doing it using the like case when, so that the solution will work in each and every databases, right? So let me write the case when statement. So we can write here employee name, because we are grouping the data on employee name. So employee name would come over here group by this, and now we need to generate each and every columns. So let's go one by one, like the direct computes column. So first what we need basic. So we can write case when transaction type is equal to basic, then we need amount, right, as basic. Okay, let me run this. I will show you. We will get error, right? We got, acha, okay. Let me write the end. The reason of this error was like the syntax, but if we have the syntax correct, then also we will get error. Why? Because if you see here, basically, we are grouping the data on employee and like employee name, and this should be okay. This should be transaction. The along with the group by, we should use these things in an aggregate function, right? So we have to put this in the aggregate, and then only the solution would work, right? So let me run this. Okay, we are getting error by um, case when transaction type is equal to basic EMP name. Are we making any mistake over here? Select star from select star from EMP transaction. Let me run this much and see. Okay, this is correct. So, okay, so instead of group, we should have group by. Okay, let me explain you this thing for again. Let me run this again. So if you see here, this what is this error? This transaction type must appear in the group by clause or to be used in the aggregate function, right? So here we cannot directly use the transaction type. Here we need to use some aggregate function. So let's use the sum only because there are only one column, so that will not make any difference. Let's run this. So okay, now if you can see, we generated this first part, basically this much of solution, right? Now, similarly, we need to do for each and every other column, right? This gross, total, and total deduction and net pay. These are getting calculated from the other column, but we have direct columns, right? Allowance, other, insurance, health, house. Let's generate those directly. So let me write the code for that quickly. So we can just copy paste this, right? What all things are there? Next we need is allowance, right? So let's write allowance. Now the next is others. Let's write others over here. The next is gross. So this is getting calculated using these three columns. So let's leave as of now. Insurance is the next thing, and then health and house. So we can write insurance. Okay. Here we can write health, and here we can have house. Right. So we have generated this direct column which are coming from the previous output. Let's run this. Okay, awesome, right? We have generated this direct column. Now, the next thing is we need to generate this gross. So gross is nothing but summation of these three columns, basic, allowance, and other. And total deduction is nothing but the summation of insurance, health, and house. Let's do that quickly. So like here directly we cannot do. We will have to make this as a CT, right? Or a subquery. We can write this in the subquery. So let's make this as a second CT table. So direct compute columns. We can write as, and then we can write select star from direct compute columns. Let me run this. We should get the same output. Yes. Now let's do the other computation quickly. So basic we wanted, okay, let's write this. First we wanted employee name, basic, and then allowance, and then others, right? The third column was gross, right? Like the next column, not the third one, fourth one. So this is nothing but the summation of these columns. Let's write that quickly. This we can write as gross. Now the next, we are done with till this. Now we need to sum this insurance, health, and this. So we can write insurance, health, house, and using this we can generate the total deduction. So we can put this, okay, as we can write as total deduction, right? Let's create the last column at the end, that is net pay. Let me run this and show you the result. Okay, so now you can see we have gross also. Let me sort the data on the employee name. So we can write order by EMP. Okay, now we have the required output. So if you see here, let's cross verify the gross over here for LX 660077005500. Let's see here also for LX 660077005500. Now we need to generate this net pay. Net pay is nothing but the gross minus total deduction. So instead of creating another CT, what we can do, we can have that calculation here also only. So we can write the gross is getting calculated using this minus total deduction. Total deduction is nothing but this, and we can name this as, and we can put everything inside next bracket. We can say that net pay, right? And let's run this. Okay. Now we have the net pay also, right? 570066504750, and we have the same output. So yes, I think we have generated our required output. I will provide the create statement in the description section, or you can find that particular, like the data set from the um, topics blog website, right? So there you can download and try this question by yourself also. Let's meet in the next problem. Until then, bye.